Bonus episode of the world's toughest podcast, hot off the presses, straight from Atlanta. This is the world's toughest podcast. Welcome to the world's toughest podcast, where we talk about any obstacle course race you'd like, as long as that's world's toughest mudder. Each week we talk to members of the WTM community and share stories of success and failure in the single greatest event in OCR. My name is Will Hicks, and this is the world's toughest podcast. Hey guys, this is a short episode, so you can listen to it in the car on the way to Toughest Mudder Atlanta tonight. The weather report for Toughest Mudder Atlanta is warm. At midnight, weather.com is saying it will be clear, 69 degrees, 0% chance of rain, 19% humidity. The coldest it's going to get during the 8 hours is at 6 a.m. It'll get down to 60 degrees. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be warm. I talked to a lot of people this morning out at the course who said that they're not even going to run in a wetsuit. They're just going in shorts and a t-shirt. So I would still bring it, but you probably don't want to start in the wetsuit. Still no word on the secret obstacles that are in Loop 2. I'm pretty sure one of them is Operation. The second one, all I've heard about it is that it's easy, but it's something new. So we'll see when we get there tonight. The other thing to watch for is Ness Monster. I've heard from several different people that it is really, really deep. I talked to David Thanos in this episode. He's 6'1" or 6'2", and it was over his head. The water was over his head. So that's something to watch for. Definitely, be safe. Don't try to go under the blocks. That's a terrible idea. You might think you're saving time, but you might also die. So don't do that. But we'll figure that out when we get to it. If you finish on the podium tomorrow morning, first, second, or third place, male or female, make sure to find me for the world's toughest continental breakfasts. We'll talk about the race. I'll interview you while you eat a Danish or some carbs or some fruit and a chilled beverage. I've got water, Starbucks, macchiatos, and a throwback Mountain Dew. So take your pick with real sugar. My original thought was I will take the podium guys out to breakfast somewhere. The six of us will go to like a Cracker Barrel or a Waffle House and just sit around the table and talk toughest mudder while I record. And then Sharkbait had the point that after 8 hours, they're going to be tired, especially the elites who are going to do crazy mileage tomorrow or tonight are going to be tired. So I'm probably better off doing like a continental breakfast on site. So that was my plan. And then Lindsay Webster commented on my post, and she's like, yes, like all caps. Lindsay's excited about going out to breakfast tomorrow. So she's clearly going to end up on the podium. And if Lindsay's coming, then she's bringing Ryan with her. So you fast people, you let me know tomorrow morning. If you want to go out, we'll go out. If you just want to eat there on site, I've got food that I'll have for you. I got a chance to talk to Matt B. Davis and Stephanie Bishop at the Obstacle Racing Media tent today. And it was on Matt's microphone and under Matt's umbrella. So he's like, you can't use this content. I'm like, man, it's your microphone. There's nothing for me to use. But definitely check out his next couple of episodes. He'll have a lot of content from Toughest Mudder Atlanta. Matt lives in Atlanta. This is kind of his home course. So make sure to listen to Obstacle Racing Media, the podcast. In this episode, I talked to Jim Campbell. I eavesdrop on Sean Corvelle. And then I talked to David Thanos. Let's talk to the guys. I'm with Jim Campbell in Atlanta on Saturday morning before we run Toughest tonight. Jim, you ran the tougher mudder course this morning. You did the full 10 miles. What'd you think of it?
I did run the tougher course, and it was surprisingly fun. I mean, the course on the first part was a little tougher than the second part, but there's some obstacles. They're like Ness Monster dug over 6 foot deep. It's going to be way difficult tonight to get through that, especially for shorter contestants.
So the water on Ness is over your head?
Yeah, it's over my head. Like I couldn't touch the bottom, so we had to grab on the side and lift it up. There had to be at least a minimum of 8 people there to get people over. I mean, I waited personally for 6 more people to come because the two of us couldn't even push off on the ground under the water to get up on the block.
Oh wow! I wonder if that was on purpose or if they're changing things up.
I don't know. You just wonder. There's a little bit of inconsistency in some of the things. I've seen those where they were dug over 6 feet on one side, and then like the right side was 4 or 5 feet, which it was kind of the standard for them. But it's going to be tough, even for the top guys, because when you can't reach the top of that block to even climb over, I mean, when the water's over your head, it's going to be interesting, and especially for the first couple people.
What was the difference between the first 5 miles and the last 5 miles?
The first 5 miles was flat and nice, and I think if we get a little rain and a little weather tonight, it may be a little bit difficult because the clogs sticking up on your shoes. But the second part of the course was really quick. It was these up and down little technical hills. The downhills were longer than the uphills. There were some short uphills, but then there was these great graduating long downhills that were super technical with little knobs and roots and everything. I'll tell you what, that's going to be really interesting when somebody's flying ass down them at night with a headlamp.
So steep uphill and then gentle downhill?
Right, long, gentle downhills. I mean, to where a guy can grab some speed. And I thought personally when I had done it, you get through the first 5 miles and you're like, oh, God, the second 5 miles. The second 5 miles was actually fun. I mean, I finished very strong and just felt great on the second part of the course. The obstacles were spaced perfectly, it seemed like. And it's definitely, you're going to need the water obstacles to keep cool tonight. In fact, I stayed in Arctic enema probably for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, just cooling down my hip, but it was placed perfectly. I got to tell you, the obstacle placement on this course, whoever did it did a really good job.
There's 2 secret obstacles in the last 5 mile loop tonight. Did you see the 2 secret ones out there?
I didn't. I saw beginnings of them set over by King of Swingers was one, and then I saw kind of a loop going off in the woods that they didn't let us go back in. It wasn't as obvious as LA. They had them sitting over to the side on LA, so I'm kind of wondering what it is, but they are on the backside. They are also on the backside of that 5 mile quick loop too.
Did you hear anything about Operation being one of the 2?
I have not heard anything about that. I just got there early this morning and jumped right out in the first loop, and then was out on the course. Just a great course today. Really warm here, really beautiful here in Atlanta.
Let's talk about the elites that are running tonight. Who are the men we should watch tonight?
I think Ryan Woods is here, and Trevor Sykos and Ryan Atkins. I think those are going to be some of the top 3 guys. I think they're all. Trevor's just back from an injury, so this will be his first toughest event. He pitted in LA for Team Go Tough and did a great job there. Very much a part of the success that Ryan had winning it. I mean, you have to play a whole team role when you're trying to get that efficient coming in, and I think Ryan's awesome athletic ability, also catching Chad on the last lap was amazing. But it really is a team effort, and those guys will tell you the same thing. You don't get anywhere by yourself in this Tough Mudder thing, that.
Chad Trammell will not be here tonight. How do you think Chad being here would have changed the dynamic?
I think Chad would love this course. He would eat it up. He's a strong runner and a strong obstacle racer, and I think he would do well. I think it would be another showdown, top 2 or 3, and it's unfortunate he's not here. I guess he did the Boston Marathon last week, but he's always a great addition to these events.
Let's talk about the women. It's a stacked field tonight for the ladies.
It is. There's Stephanie Bishop, Allison Ty, Lindsay, Sarah Watson. I mean, I saw those girls walking around the venue, some of them today, and they're in shape and ready to go. I think it's anybody's race there. It's really a good course. It's not going to have the hard hills that LA had, so it's going to be a runner's race, but also like those 4 girls specifically, like, good luck on block Ness. I'm telling you, it's going to be tough. It may be a game changer. I was talking to people that were there before me, and they had waited like 10 minutes to get over it. And I don't know if they're going to allow you to go under it or not, but that's going to be a game changer. Block Ness tonight is going to be a game changer. 6 foot deep water. None of those girls are 5'6". It's unless there's someone there, and I don't think they let the volunteers help you, but I don't know how you're going to get over a 4 foot block in the water when the water's 6 foot deep below it.
Can they drain some of the water between now and then?
No, because that'll offset the level of the actual block that spins in the water, because it needs to be broken right at half for it to rotate in the water correctly. Like I said, they may have accidentally overdug it or purposely done it, but I'll tell you what, that's going to slow people down, and not in the groups. We were getting over it in the groups today with people there, but you can't by yourself. I mean, I'm telling you, there were some good runners in front of us today when I came up to them, you know, some 50 and 75 mile bib people, and there was 4 or 5 of them, and they couldn't get over it without help. So it's not a bullshit obstacle. I mean, it's set however it's set, but it's going to be an issue tonight.
I wonder if they'll start routing people around it if it's a big issue.
I wonder too. I thought the same thing. I thought they may close it down because those girls are talented, but I don't know any one of them who could get through it by themselves.
Do you think the guys can get through it by themselves?
God, I tell you, I literally tried one time. I went underwater and pushed up to try to just grab the block, and it was at such a weird angle I couldn't even get up at that angle. I mean, there needs to be at least 2 people there, one to hold the block, even in the position where you can jump up on it. You know, I've seen guys do that, and they've been able to do that before. But at one point, when there was nobody there, the volunteer actually came over and lifted one of the people up and pulled him on top of the block. But I don't know how they're going to go with that when this thing's a race, a full-blown race. It's not like a normal Tough Mudder where you want to help everybody get over. You know, when the volunteers have to jump in there just to even get you up on the block, it's tough. I'm telling you, I've never seen one set like that before. It amazed me today, not only in that, but that they'd have it at this event where there's going to be a toughest tonight.
Usually the water only comes like to your armpits. You know, it's like
right. Chest high is the norm on that. And like I said, I was in one in New York out in Long Island where half of it was set at 6 foot and the others at like a 4 foot, where it was definitely a misdig. But even that, like people were actually being pulled out of the water because they were almost drowning. Like, and you add fatigue and everything else into it. It's an issue. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I would like to know what happened if they purposely did it, because it's going to suck for the race portion tonight.
Well, cool. Anything else you want to talk about for Toughest Atlanta?
That's it. You know, we're here representing Team Goat Tough, and we've got some good competitors here, and we're going to try to run the series and keep everyone involved as much as we can. We have 7 pro team members, and then some other athletes and ambassadors, and there's probably, out of the whole team, we've probably got 15 people here tonight. So it's a nice advantage for Lindsay and Ryan and all the top runners to know that they've got that many people out on the course, mentally and physically. You know, you can always use an extra hand getting over it in the middle of the night.
Awesome. Jim Campbell, thanks much.
Thank you, Will.
To all my athletes, I know I got my athletes in here, the knees aren't great anymore, y'all. Go ahead and sit on your butt if you have to. You know, go to the side if you have to, man. I'll get you out of here real quick. One of my first timers in here. First time making some noise. Welcome to Mudder Nation, y'all. First time. See, you look too fit, girl. You should have been on here with us a long time ago. Welcome. You picked a great, but I'm telling you, Georgia is always a great Tough Mudder event for us. What I find is our best Tough Mudder events are in those regions of our United States that have a very strong community, because that's what this is about. That's what y'all got down here. I hope you appreciate it. I sure appreciate you, man. I wish the rest of the world had it like y'all got it going on here, but it'd be a better world for sure. So I'm proud of each and every one of you. Hoorah to all of you, man. Keep that going. Now, first timers, the whole idea here, everybody out here is your teammate. That means when you're out there on the course, same thing. You come across somebody face down in this dirt, not moving, not breathing, nothing's going on whatsoever. That's your teammate now. So Tough Mudder rules. Yes, you can steal their stuff, but you must help them first. The way we help people here, we don't pick them up because you don't know their injuries. Cross your arms above your head. That's going to signal our medics all throughout the course. Everyone show me your X right now. Awesome. I say first, you say A. First. Hey! Perfect. If you cannot swim, please don't go in the water. And if you can't swim, don't go in the water. Most importantly, if you can't swim, don't go in the water. Yes, I must say that 3 times every wave, because every wave someone forgets they can't swim. Good swimmers. Let's remember, you're going to be like cramping is out there. Let's be aware of everybody in the water. Get them out back on the course safe. If you have a bad heart metal in your body, ever had a seizure in your life, do not do electroshock. That's what you're hearing right now. That's Clinton Jackson, funniest man in the world. But that thing is hot, y'all. So if you're not feeling it, go around it. I've seen some epic face plants out there. If if you are healthy, run through it, because that is entertaining for the rest of us. But any obstacle on this course that you are not feeling, you can go around. There's no shame to that game. It's about getting stronger. When you don't complete this time, come back at the next event, complete it then. I have been telling a story all year. We had a gentleman at one of our events last year, one of our heroes. He lost his arm in the Iraq war for us. This guy was out there on Pokey with one arm, and he's hitting everything. Boom, boom, boom. Did the wheel, got over to the end part. Got to the end, it was wet, so he slipped and he fell in the water. He gets up, goes back to the beginning of it, and completes the obstacle.
Yeah!
That's how our military rolls, right there. That's how our first responders roll. That's how our EMTs and any hero, which is anyone in this world, giving service and sacrifice to their fellow humans to make us a better world for us, and so we can be out here doing like we're doing today. That's how they roll, and we honor them. That's what you run for today. You run to honor them. You run for those that can't. Most importantly, you run for yourself and these people you're in here with today. Tough Mudder, we do not build obstacles here to hurt you. Any fool can do that. We create a course to challenge you. And if you do it right, when you cross that finish line, you should feel like, yes, I share a world with some awesome people. With their help and your own determination, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. My first timers, I don't care about your time. I just want your best today. You may not be the fastest person in here. You may not be able to do every obstacle today. You may not even finish, but it is hard. But if you give me your best, and I am talking your honest best, not your settled best. This is everything right here. This is everything. Hey, no one's better than you best. But your best will make you better. That's what I think that's all. Hey, y'all want to see something really cool? Over to your right, see that gentleman standing over there? That gentleman's name is Blind Pete. He's done videos, he did 35 miles in our world's toughest mudder, and this year he's looking to do 75 miles in our world's toughest mudder. He already ran the course today. You got this. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I'm a tough mudder, I pledge back.
I'm a tough mudder, I pledge back.
Understand tough mudder is not a race, but a challenge.
I understand tough mudder is not a race, but a challenge.
I put teamwork and camaraderie before my course time.
I put teamwork and camaraderie before my course time.
I know why.
I know why.
Here's why.
Here's why.
I help my fellow brothers complete the course.
I help my fellow brothers complete the course.
And I overcome all fear.
And I overcome all fear.
Now look at that 100 teams up to you right behind you. Shake your hands back.
David Thanos, how do you feel?
Real good. A little tired, but the course was fun. A lot more hills than they said there was going to be, but it was good overall.
You just ran Tougher Mudder. You finished 4th or 5th overall?
5th, I think, yeah.
What did you think of the course?
Lots of fun. It's real pretty. The humidity kind of gets to you. It's a little tough to breathe there for a while, but it's fun.
What do you think about for the guys running tonight? What do they need to know?
If it really is part of the course, there was this giant monstrosity obstacle out in the middle of the woods, about 20 feet tall and 40 feet long. Looks like you might have to walk across the top. I really hope it's part of the course because it looked really cool, but it could just be something in the middle of the woods here. You never know.
They've got 2 mystery obstacles. One of them we think is Operation.
Yeah, I saw Operation out there. And the other one, like I said, could be this weird metal thing out in the middle of the woods.
Were you running with anybody or were you by yourself most of the time?
There was a group, about 3 of us running together for the most part, which was good. Mud Mile was pretty deep, and really was kind of not doable by yourself, not easily at least. So that was good.
How was Ness Monster?
Oh, actually, it was really deep. It was over my head, which is the first time I've got to those, and the blocks are really big, so I can normally do it by myself, no problem. I couldn't come within a foot of grabbing the top. So with 3 of us, it was still really hard to do.
And you're a tall guy. How tall are you?
6'1".
And the water was over your head?
Yes. Water was over my head. To boost the person up to get it, I had to go under the water, hold my breath, boost them, and hope that he got it, and come out and check, and nope, go back under the water.
Well, that's a new wrinkle on that.
Yeah, and like I said, and the blocks are really big. Normally they're what, maybe 2.5, 3 feet wide. These are like 4 feet wide, really tall. So yeah, it was much more of a challenge than any other block nest I've ever done.
How was Funky Monkey?
Really wet. Every bar was soaked, and so this is the first tougher. It sounds like they had penalties. So the guy right in front of me actually fell and had to do the penalty, and because every rung was soaking wet and all the rings were soaking wet, and I don't know if it's just because the humidity in the air is condensing on the bars, but it was interesting.
So you couldn't retry obstacles. It was one try or a penalty.
For Funky Monkey and Kong, they have penalties this time.
And you were able to get the headband even though you failed Funky Monkey.
Oh, I didn't fail Funky Monkey. The guy in front of me did. Yeah, as long as you do the penalty, you can keep your wristband. If you choose to not do it, the way they're doing it now is they're actually taking your timing chip, and you won't get a time for the course. You'll get a DNF.
That's interesting. They haven't done that before.
Nope, Eli came out to the beginning and did the rules, and he said these are the new rules. Here they are. And there's no more Perfect 10 wristbands. You get this bright orange one. I think it's, more easily to see. I don't know if people were skipping some of the tougher obstacles because they couldn't see the black headband, but so now they make it bright orange, so it's real hard to hide, and so they know who's doing tougher, both on the course and at the end.
That wristband you're wearing, it looks like the old headbands, just a smaller version.
Yep, just orange with nothing else on it. No Tough Mud or anything, just a plain orange wristband.
It's not as sexy to keep as the Perfect 10.
It is not, so I'm glad I got the Perfect 10 earlier in New Orleans. But I think this is the first course where they also have the new headbands, so that's cool.
Those headbands look sharp. Describe it.
So it's got Tough Mudder on it. It's all black, kind of like the Legionnaire from 10 Plus, and but with a yellow-ish green band on the outside and the new Tougher logo on the back. So they're pretty sweet.
So most headbands just have the wording on one, but the world's toughest, and tougher have stuff on both sides.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, they're real nice.
Awesome. David Thanos, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I love the podcast, so great talking to you.
Thanks, man.
It's going to be great, guys. I'll see you out there. If you see me, say hey. And if you're not out here in Atlanta, let me know where you're going to be at. willhicks@gmail.com. Which toughest are you coming to? Drink lots of water, take a nap, and be safe out there. Good luck, guys.